Now on Bay News 9.
A building burned to the ground and several cars charred to a crisp. Burning brush causing major problems this weekend, especially getting there on I-75. Smoke and flames too close for comfort. Plus, alleged abuse at an all-boys school.
You'd go in and just have to wait in line to lay down on the bed to be beat.
A survivor tells his haunting memories as investigators look for evidence dating back decades.
Now from your news source, the latest on the day's top stories, county by county coverage, and weather on the nines. This is your evening news.
Good evening, I'm Chuck Henson. First tonight, wildfire woes. Flames devour a Ruskin forest, taking homes and cars along with it, and a major interstate caught in the thick of the fire battle. Smoke billowing above drivers on I-75 all afternoon. Right now, the interstate, just a nightmare on this holiday weekend. Sky 9's flying high above the scene. As you can see, traffic still shut down in the northbound lanes, but drivers finally moving again southbound. Team coverage coming at you with crews on the ground and our own meteorologist tracking the danger as wildfire season kicks off with major sparks. First, we start with Bay News 9's Aaron Maloney live. Aaron?
Hey, Chuck, right now they're telling me this is about a 50-acre brush fire. They're saying it is under control, though. At this point, it's kind of starting to die down. But you can see behind me, things are still smoldering. You can check that tree out back there. Still flames right there. And, you know, if you come down here with me, here's a big log. It's just on fire. Things like this are everywhere around this 50 acres. It's certainly making firefighters very nervous right now. But let me show you some viewer video from earlier. This is video from Interstate 75. Plenty of flames out on the median over there. This is exits 240 and 229. Everything northbound was shut down at that point. You can see the flames over there. Scary for those drivers who were just caught in the middle of that. And fire officials telling me, even if you're in those southbound lanes, you need to be careful because there's plenty of smoke over there. And they say there's a reason why these flames jumped so quickly. Take a listen.
This is brush fire season. Everything's so dry, and the wind all over the place a big part that brush fires just get pretty large.
Now, over these 50 acres, fire officials say cars were damaged, a mobile home. Other homes also could have been in trouble if it weren't for 16 fire crews staged here. I'm told they were kind of between the homes and the flames the entire time. And I want to take you back out here live right now. You can see that antenna over there out in the distance. That is where they say it started near. They're not sure how it started, but they say as they are trying to put out these flames, they're also trying to investigate how it started. Was it an accident? Was it an arson? They just don't know at this point, but they are actively trying to figure it out while they're trying to put out these hot spots, which, like I said, are everywhere around this 50 acres. And we've also noticed the wind keeps shifting back and forth. So still very ripe conditions for brush fires right now, Chuck.
Aaron, thank you very much. Get to a safe place. Make sure you're nice and safe out there. All right, we're told that several cars, trucks, and farm equipment, even a mobile home, burned to the ground. The worst of this damage is in this area near 27th Street Southeast and 22nd Avenue Southeast. Bay News 9's Cheryl Glassford spoke with the people who lost some prized possessions today. Cheryl, what have you got?
Well, Chuck, the mood here is certainly much calmer now compared to earlier. Now let me show you a fire line here that firefighters dug earlier to try to keep this fire away from homes. People living in this neighborhood
owners at the mercy of flames and wind.
Came from the tower and jumped.
As the brush fire came closer to Don Dutter's home, he wasn't here to do anything about it.
Yeah, your adrenaline, I think I could have ran as fast as the truck was going.
By the time Dutter drove home, the back of his house had burned. So had a neighbor's pickup truck. Several Carnival food trucks stored nearby destroyed, along with Robert Phillips' cars.
Started there and just moved real fast.
Phillips tried to protect his property.
We had a back way we can get out of there if we had to, because they were telling us that we probably ought to evacuate.
His home was spared, but storage building and farm equipment burned to the ground. Firefighters were able to save other homes in the neighborhood. Even though Dutter can't return to his house for now because of the damage, he's thankful for neighbors he says sprayed down his house for him, only backing away when it became too dangerous.
For safety's sake, I'd rather lose a trailer than my friends.
And as Aaron told you earlier, still no word on the cause of this fire, but check out this brush here. Listen to how dry that is. Firefighters say it would have only taken a spark, and of course it obviously spread very quickly. So despite the damage, many people living here tonight.
All right, Cheryl, thank you so much. A little bit of an issue with Cheryl's microphone there, but you could see what she was talking about with that dry brush. Now, here at the station, our meteorologists used their Klystron 9 technology to track the smoke from this fire. Let's go now live to meteorologist Brian McClure. Brian, you watched this thing grow, right?
Absolutely, yeah, we did, and all we had to do was point Klystron 9 right at it, and it's pretty common actually this time of year. We are in the dry season. We always say once we get to spring, we've had a winter with the freezes and the frost, kind of tends to kill off the vegetation, and then you have the dry time of year. And like the earlier interview, they were saying, you know, just a little bit of wind. Well, we actually did have a southerly wind today, so it makes sense that what was happening was that fire just kind of billowed up. And then with a south wind, it got pushed right across the interstate down here near Ruskin. So yes, Klystron 9 is sensitive enough where it can actually pick up on any of those little particles in the atmosphere. And that's one of the things that we were looking at earlier today. And actually, I believe we do have, there you go, right there. You can see this is going back to between about noon and 2 p.m. You can see how it was billowing up right down here south of I-75. And then you'll notice the smoke traveled northward and it kind of dispersed. We knew at that point in time, between about 2 and 2:30, we could kind of tell based on just this image from Klystron 9 that, yeah, things were starting to break up a bit and the fire was definitely starting to die down. So good news that this didn't result in too big of a fire, but I have a feeling this is going to be pretty common scene probably over the next 2 to 3 months until we get into rainy season.
You know, Brian, we've been getting some incredible video and pictures all afternoon into our newsroom from viewers in that Ruskin area. And if you'd like to see all of those, or if you have some you'd like to upload, head to our website, baynews9.com. Click the story on the front page. Also, be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for all of our breaking news updates. Meantime, fire crews are keeping a close eye on a brush fire in Hernando County. This is a look at some lingering smoke today in the Glen Glades subdivision of Weeki Wachee. Yesterday, it looked like this. Flames got to within 50 feet of some of the homes. Amazingly, none were damaged. The blaze started as a controlled burn, but it got out of hand. Today, firefighters stayed close to watch hotspots. Continuing coverage tonight of a Panhandle reform school with an infamous reputation. The Dozier School for Boys in Jackson County. Accusations have been surfacing for months of unspeakable abuse at the school, dating back years. And all as experts uncovered graves nearby. Tonight, a survivor speaks out about his experience inside the walls of a school building dubbed the White House. Goey also hopes the person responsible for allegedly beating the boys will be brought to justice. 31 marked graves have been found at the school, and experts have found 20 more unmarked sites using ground-penetrating radar. A random text has an entire town on alert. Words you'd never expect to see on your phone. It'll make your skin crawl.
Die Advocates, where you're a neighbor, not a number.
New tonight, the legal fight begins over those slashed air traffic control jobs. The FAA announced this month it's closing 149 air traffic control towers because of budget cuts. Lakeland Linder and Albert Whitted in St. Petersburg are both slated to shut down their control towers. However, so far neither airport has joined the lawsuit. Airports in Naples, Ormond Beach, and Punta Gorda are fighting back. Airport officials want a federal court to delay the closings and force the FAA to do a more comprehensive study on the safety impact the closings will have. A brutal murder or a vicious prank. Either way, one Central Florida woman isn't laughing. She got a text message from a mysterious person that sent her into a state of panic. Bay News 9's Dave DeMarco has her story. Overseas in Afghanistan, some serious allegations have forced the U.S. to turn over one of its bases to local commandos. Afghan President Hamid Karzai demanded the U.S. withdraw from the base at Nurk district. He claims Afghan soldiers committed human rights abuses there on U.S. orders. Afghan special forces have now taken the place of American forces. However, U.S. troops will continue to operate in other parts of the region. A recall alert tonight. You may want to check your freezer. Some farm-rich frozen meals and snacks may be contaminated with E. coli. The recall includes mini quesadillas, mini pizza slices, and mozzarella bites. The products were made this past November. There have been at least 24 cases of E. coli reported in 15 states. Easter is here, and Christians around the world will be celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ on Sunday. But there will also be a lot of celebrating with candy and eggs. Americans are expected to spend about $17 billion for Easter this year. That includes about 180 million eggs. The folks will dye in all sorts of colors. 88% of American parents will make Easter baskets for their kids. And in case you ever wondered, 76% of people who eat chocolate bunnies, they go for the ears first. That's according to a survey by the National Confectioners Association. Ever thought of fostering a child? Now's the time with Each One, Reach One. The Department of Children and Families says there are too many children in need of foster care in the Tampa Bay area. Now it's focusing on a program to encourage more foster parents. Bay News 9 Giselle Tejeda has the story.
For more than 15
DCF workers told us they have about 9 children each day that end up in their care. For more information about becoming a foster parent, log on to our website, baynews9.com. We'll link you to the Fostering Tampa Bay website. March Madness on the court this holiday weekend. A South Florida school may not have won the game, but they got their 15 minutes of fame. The school coming away a winner, even without any trophies. That's your weather update. Now for more on your top story tonight. A brush fire burning in South Hillsborough County. It's happening right now along I-75 near Ruskin. It has the northbound lanes of the interstate shut down. Sky 9's flying above that spot right now. Take a look. Drivers were stuck southbound too, but southbound is moving again now. Now, Bay News 9's Aaron Maloney joins us now live on the ground. All right, Aaron, still lots of smoke behind you there. And by the way, in your last update, when you picked up that burning log, I got to tell you, Brian McClure and I are very concerned for your safety there.
We're good. I promise you I'm not going to do anything that's going to put my my health in jeopardy. Okay, I promise you. But this time around, fire officials are telling me that things are really under control. The public, they will only say it started somewhere near the antenna that you can see, probably a couple hundred yards out in the distance. But again, Chuck, it looks like things are getting much better out here in Ruskin.
All right, Aaron, thank you very much. We did just hear from the Florida Highway Patrol. They say it may be another hour before the northbound lanes of I-75 are reopened. Right now, they're diverting that traffic at I-275, use US 301 or US 41 as a good alternate route. All right, now for a look at the other top stories this hour. A survivor story tonight from the Dozier School for Boys up in the Panhandle. A local man talked to us about the abuse allegations. George Goey says the school was a place of terror. He says he was badly beaten and still has nightmares about his time there in the 50s and 60s. Lawmakers are working to come up with funding to further investigate the school and graves found on the property. The Polk County man accused of taking a police officer for a wild and dangerous ride will remain behind bars. James Black Jr. was denied bond Saturday. Police say he took off during a traffic stop this week, dragging Lakeland police officer Michael Glass with him. Officer Glass is still recovering. You most likely heard the ongoing debate over our pro baseball players. Will the Rays leave downtown St. Petersburg? Mayor Foster says the city would take a big hit if they left. He claims the Rays bring in between $100 million and $300 million each year. But how much of that money actually goes back into the local economy? Bay News 9's Al Rochelle sat down with our partners at the Tampa Bay Times for some answers.
Thanks, Al.
The famous manatees in Citrus County are getting even more attention. We're talking major international attention. The April issue of National Geographic magazine has an article about the manatees in Kings Bay and Three Sisters Springs. The story is 16 pages long. Now, with a spread like that in a popular magazine, it could create a lot more fans for these sea cows.
We're expecting a big boom in tourism as a result of this story.
The manatee tourism already generates between $20 and $30 million a year. It was a spectacular run, but the fairy tale is over this weekend for a basketball team from a small Florida university. Gulf Coast had its championship dreams dashed by the Florida Gators. But all isn't lost, as Joe Carter reports that March Madness run could very well have a lasting positive impact for the school.
Well, as they say, Joe Carter, CNN, Fort Myers, Florida.
If you want to see the latest bracket, head to our website, baynews9.com/sports. Click the story on the front page under local headlines. A treasure chest filled with gold and jewels worth millions could soon belong to a Polk County man. That's right. We talked to a man who says he's convinced he's going to find a hidden treasure people all over the world have tried to find. Bay News 9's Sandra Weathers has the story.
Jerry Bay News 9.
The 82-year-old multimillionaire who claims he's hidden the treasure says he did it because he was dying from cancer. He's now cancer-free, but he still wanted to leave the treasure for people to find. Hey, check this out. It's raining Easter eggs, tens of thousands up for grabs. It's an annual tradition. Talk about a colossal Easter egg hunt. It was raining Easter eggs in Manatee County today. More than 6,000 people rushed 2 soccer fields to grab their share of eggs. Bay News 9 photojournalist Amy Mariani has the sights and sounds of this big Easter celebration.
5 minutes! Egg drop is happening!
And so that was our goal with egg drop.
That looks like fun. So let's test your knowledge. How much do you know about Easter? Test your knowledge of the holiday on our website, baynews9.com. That's where you can take our Easter quiz, from rabbits to peeps and Easter candy to Easter movies. We're going to put you to the test. You can find that quiz right there on our homepage. It's a powder room fit for a princess, but it's mainly used by men. The Silverhawks minor league baseball team in Indiana just painted its visitors' room locker room all pink. And it's not just the walls, the sinks, even the urinals have a pink hue. There are 160 minor league baseball teams around the country, and the Silverhawks team manager said they just wanted their stadium to be different than all the rest.
If you have squeaky...
There is something you can do about those squeaks and bumps in the night. If it's your floor, Mrs. Fix-It has an easy solution to silence those noises.
Squeak.
For another look at how to silence